What's going on, everybody? Should be live, should be able to hear me loud and clear. I got some comments last time on the stream that my mic was like a little quiet, so I turned up the volume. So if you could hear me, let me know. I'm gonna be sharing some NBA player props I've already locked in. I'm pretty much capped out as far as like what I can put down, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to put any more in myself here. However, I will be able to share like what I've gotten in so far. Hopefully, some solid props that haven't been bumped. There's going to be a ton of different bumps that have already occurred on my props, unfortunately, because that's just the way it goes. When you get good value, these props apps are going to bump your props. So I've got like two Prizepicks NBA 6-pick flexes that I've locked in, 5 Betr picks tickets, an Underdog fantasy ticket. Unfortunately, some of these like you're not going to be able to get in that I've locked in, but I'm going to share with you just as much as I can for free on the stream today, and try to help people out for free, like what we have left. So, I mean, I just barely locked in a 6-pick flex over here not too long ago. So let's see. I already got notification from people in the Discord that one of the props got removed. TJ McConnell's assist. The market was just starting to absolutely rip towards his under at the 4.5 line. They now only have that little goblin option available for him at the 3.5. I mean, he's gone over this in a lot of different games. If you're new to the channel or if you're new to this props betting stuff, you might be like, why the heck would you take the under at 4.5? There's going to be a lot of different data that goes into my research, a lot of different data that goes into Vegas's research, and we want to be using market data because it's literally the most accurate thing to be using. So I talk about this all the time. If you tuned into the stream last time, like, we got hooked again. This has been a theme lately for me. It just sucks. But if you tuned in to yesterday's stream, these were the picks I gave out for the WNBA. So like they went really well. You know, 5 out of 6 is really good. It's not really too easy to do, to be honest. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But this is just a perfect example of like all the things that are going into my process for my picks and the results. Yesterday, like, we just missed a sweep, so I don't know how many of you in here tuned into that WNBA stream yesterday, but oh man, it sucked. Kelsey Plum just like kind of fell off the face of the earth. The game stayed competitive too. Like, we were a little bit worried about a blowout. There was no Chelsea Gray. We were close to a sweep yesterday, but anywho, yeah, if you can hear me loud and clear, let me know in the chat, and if you want a certain app or platform, let me know as well. We'll talk Prizepicks first, just because Prizepicks tends to be like the most popular one. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people that want Prizepicks props. But like I said, I got some better picks as well. And Sleeper, I don't know if that's still going to be available. And then Underdog Fantasy. I know my Underdog Fantasy picks are just gone, so that sucks, but it is what it is. So anyways, so let's see like what's still available here. Once again, I'm not going to be able to lock these in because I keep getting that notification on the Prizepicks app saying you've reached your maximum winnings on the athletes I've locked in. But let's see like what's still available here that I just locked in. So yeah, McConnell got removed. Isaiah Hartenstein's fantasy score at 32.5. I like the under here. We did get some news that OG Anunoby is going to be in here most likely today, which is a really big piece of news. So the market's starting to really rip towards a lot of Hartenstein unders, which makes perfect sense. His PRA at 24.5. I took the under on Betr picks earlier. I know he's already gotten bumped down. He's at 24 even here on Prizepicks, but the fantasy score we do still have a chance to capitalize on here. It's one of the top plays on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, so I can go ahead and pull that up for you guys here. If you're not familiar with this tool, guys, I'll talk about it on the stream a little bit. It's a optimizer that's going to pull in all of these data points that I discuss a lot throughout my content of sportsbooks and their lines. So this is what Prizepicks uses on the back end to change their lines. If you're not familiar, like you're like, why did a guy's points go up or down, or a certain prop go up or down? It's going to be all of this data that these apps use to change their props. And the best possible prop you can take on the entire Prizepicks board, according to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, and I agree here, is the the fantasy score. Sometimes I'll be a little bit different on the fantasy score. I've got some models and stuff that also factor in projections. But they're giving this a 59.57% chance to hit the under, which is like really, really good. And like I said, I tend to agree. That news that OG Anunoby is going to play is massive. Josh Hart's expected to play as well. That's massive. I don't know how effective Josh Hart's going to be, but even if he's injured, like I think he's going to be effective enough to at least rebound and pass the basketball. I'd be a little bit more worried about his scoring than the rebounding, the assisting, etc. So I still think he can steal some production away from Hartenstein. And then the big piece of news is the OG news. Like OG's been out for quite some time now on the shelf with an injury. He is expected to play in this one, so I mean, it's a really big piece of news that's going to affect Hartenstein's production. Like Hartenstein's been out there with this starting lineup with no OG Anunoby. If we run the numbers with OG on the court, I mean, he's a much larger part of this team than Hartenstein typically. OG's got a 21% usage rate. Dante DiVincenzo, 20% usage rate. Brunson's all the way up to 35% usage rate. We know he's going to dominate the usage on this offense for the most part. But Hartenstein's just a low usage guy. He's going to grab your rebounds. He can make some impact with his defense of the blocks and steals. We'll want to keep that to a minimal here today, being that we're taking the under on his fantasy. Those are 3 points in the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format. But everything's pointing towards Hartenstein taking a big hit to his usage and his production here. And I mean, he's had a hard enough time clearing this prop as is with all these guys healthy. So it makes a ton of sense to me. And like I said, see, his PRA is bumping down in real time. It was just at 24 even, literally as we're talking on the stream. It's been bumped down to a 23.5. And that's all reflective of the news of OG. So I like this prop a lot for the first pick here. Once again, I'm not going to be able to lock these in again. So I'm just going to pull up like what I've already locked in. I can show you my tickets too, but they're like a lot of the props in them are going to be bumped already, so there's no point in taking those. Like, don't take the bumped props. But I'll show you guys just to show that I'm actually playing these when we get there. Hartenstein, Karl-Anthony Towns is another guy I was locking in here. His points and rebounds prop looks really solid on Prizepicks if it hasn't been bumped. 26.5 points and rebounds. Hasn't gone over this in 3 of the last 5. I really don't care. If you're new to the channel, that means nothing to me. It shouldn't mean anything to you. Every situation is different. So you really don't want to be basing your props off these last 5 starts. They really mean nothing. I practically only use them for a visual when I'm streaming or doing a video for content purposes. That's really the only time you'll see me pull this up. But we can head right back on over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer and pull up real quick why I like this. It's, once again, the top prop on the entire board for Karl-Anthony Towns according to them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different data points saying that he's favored to go over here. For those of you that don't really understand how Prizepicks works, in a 5 or 6 pick flex, you're going to get minus 119 implied odds. I talk about that all the time on the channel. I talk about that all the time on my Discord. So no matter what prop you take, essentially you're risking $119 to win $100 for every individual prop on Prizepicks if you're playing 5 and 6 pick flexes. So we want to be taking props where we would have to risk way more than that on a sports book, like a FanDuel or a DraftKings, on Prizepicks. Like if you can get better than minus 119 odds on a sports book, that would be even better ideally if you're someone that has access to a sports book. But if you have access to Prizepicks and sports books, you can really take advantage of both platforms because you can't get that 119 implied odds on Karl-Anthony Towns. If you were to go on FanDuel right now, you'd have to risk 154 to win 100. So it's not actually saying that on the Prizepicks app. It's saying 25x your money. But on the back end, that's all of the math that goes into this. So I've done all the research and all the fact checking for you guys to be able to share that with you. Like, that's how this works. So I talk about it all the time. If you've watched my content for a long time, yeah, you might already know this. But if you're new and you're learning, like, I try to preach this as much as I can in my Discord. I can go ahead and pull up my Discord University tab that ranks every single Prizepicks entry that you could place in order for optimal. So like, this is what I'm talking about. It's minus 119 implied odds for 5 and 6 pick flexes. So, like, no matter what, once again, Cat, you'd have to risk 158 to win 100 on a sports book. Essentially, this is just saying we'd have to risk 119 to win 100. He's expected to go over this line. So that's why you have to risk more to win less if you were to go on a sports book. What they're telling you is Karl-Anthony Towns is highly likely, more likely to go over the points and rebounds that we've set it at than not. So you're going to have to risk more to win less. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. That's a lot of what goes into this process of finding the best possible props you can get on Prizepicks. And you'll hear me talk about it all the time. So I just want to explain, like, so that's why this is a good prop on Karl-Anthony Towns here. And we like the over, and we like it at 26.5. If it gets bumped, we don't like it anymore. Okay, so don't be playing bumps. They're gonna change lines like crazy. If you're someone that doesn't understand why they change lines, once again, they do that because it's too good of a play. So those are two props that I've locked in. We got 51 people in here, guys. Only 12 likes. Let's run the likes up. It should be very easy to do. It takes 2 seconds. It's free. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I'm gonna keep knocking out this content. These streams to try to help you out for free. And then once again, I've already locked in the props today. Yesterday's stream, I was able to come on prior to the WNBA starting and like in real live time, lock them in with you guys, which was fun. Today, we're just going to be sharing props I've already locked in. I would share more, but they've already been bumped or removed. Like the TJ McConnell assist prop I had mentioned. Like it's already been removed. I mean, I had the under 4.5. Can no longer share that with you guys. That's what they do when a prop's too good on the board. They'll just go ahead and remove it. So it's just like, that's what happens. So, I mean, I can pull it up here. You can see it in my slip in real time. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope over 2.5 rebounds is another prop we'll talk about shortly here that I've already locked in, as you can see. But the TJ McConnell under 4.5 assists, it's green now. It's not even available on the board. So I've already locked that in. We talked about the Hartenstein and Karl-Anthony Towns fantasy score and points and rebounds. So I like those props. And let's continue along here. Let's find some more for you guys. And I would share the McConnell prop, but like I said, we can't. It's not on the board. That's what I'm saying, long story short there. So Hart was bumped down for our last slip. Joe Drift says, yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, we got some good value on that prop as well. What was it? The points and rebounds, right, Joe? Let's see. Yeah, we got Josh Hart. Okay. Did they just remove Hart? Yeah, so they just took Hartenstein Fantasy off the board. Am I surprised? No, man. That's just the way it goes. So it's too good of a prop, so they take it off the board. So maybe you locked in it before, but I'm going to keep sharing some props with you guys. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope over 2.5 rebounds. We're looking at some good value here. Or lock this prop in on Prizepicks. So there's another one that you can be playing here today on this NBA action. There's a bunch of different data supporting that Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's expected to go over. We can go ahead and pull up the OddsJam Sportsbook screen here. Another tool that you're going to find me talking about because it is extremely valuable. It's the tool you can go to literally be able to see every single possible data point you can see under the sun for a particular prop. And Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is favored across the entire industry to go over his 2.5 rebounds. Like we have 1,000 different data points here we can refer to. 124 on the over on FanDuel, 122 on the over on DraftKings. He's up to 129 on Caesars, 130 on BetMGM, 154 on Sleeper. So like there's a good example of Sleeper's another fantasy app that we lock in these props on all the time. Like you're getting minus 150 over there. So they're like not having it. They don't want to give the over on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's 2.5 rebounds to you at a cheap price. They're saying it's too good of a prop. So like we want to compare that data. And rather than playing it on Sleeper or like Flip, for instance, is another sportsbook, digital DFS type of a sportsbook. They're charging minus 145 on the over. So they're like, this is way too good of a prop. They're not going to give it to you at 119 like Prizepicks is doing. I can tell you that much. Okay, so let's take advantage over on Prizepicks. Once again, guys, for those of you that don't know this tool, it is OddsJam. 35% off for this. I talked about the 25% off with Daily Grind Fantasy. If you like either of those tools, you can use my promo code and they'll give you 35% off. I'll have a link below in the description. I'll have a link in the comments. These are two tools that I'm using, so I share them, talk about them, just want to make them known. If you're someone that likes to do your own research, fantastic. It's going to be a fantastic resource for you. If you're someone that has a lot going on and you're like, I don't have time to be logging on and scanning the market every single day. I got work, all this other stuff going on. I do offer the VIP package for this reason as well. So you got plenty of options here. Tons of different things that can help you be profitable and help you find good props on these apps. And I try to share them all with you. So my VIP, you're going to get access to all my tickets as soon as I place them. All this research is going into it. If you're someone that's like, I don't want to take someone else's picks, I like doing it myself, you can certainly use these other tools that I'm talking about to help you find good value in the market. It's 2024. There's so many different resources. Just try to use them, and then use the free content obviously as well. I'm going to try to help you for free as much as I can. But have to let you guys know about those valuable resources because, like I said, they are valuable. So those are 2 props that I like. Let's continue along here. What's another one that I've locked in that has been bumped? The Josh Hart, Hartenstein just got pulled in real time off the board, unfortunately, so that sucks. Josh Hart, 21.0 points and rebounds. We got the under at 21.5. This is another example of a prop that just got bumped. So, my advice is don't play it now. They're taking the value. The reason they're taking it down is essentially he's expected to end with 21 even. I talked about this yesterday on the WNBA stream. If you tuned in with Aaliyah Boston, I said take the over 11.5 points. Don't take it if it gets bumped up. She ended the game with 12 points. What a coincidence, It's just, this is going to happen every single day. So that's the edge. That's what we do every single day. We try to find props with good edge in them on the channel, in the Discord, all that stuff. So there's 2 props that I'm on that have been bumped that are still available. All right, guys, I'm going to give you as many props as I can that haven't been bumped. I'm sorry that I can't give you all of mine that I place. It's just that's the reality of these apps. They change the lines, they bump them, and you can't get them in anymore. It sucks, but it is what it is. So what else do we have here? Dante DiVincenzo's points I like. If it hasn't been bumped, 17.5. There was some really sharp action starting to trend on this, heavy, prior to me coming on stream. So that was really starting to pop for me. We talked about OG being back. He's going to affect the usage a little bit for a Hartenstein, like we said. And once again, when you're analyzing the market, in my head, I'm kind of in my head, justifying it if it makes sense to me. And this makes a ton of sense to me because just thinking out loud here, okay, Josh Hart's dealing with an injury. OG Anunoby's coming back. We really don't know how healthy he's going to be. And Josh Hart probably can't really shoot the ball all that effectively. In OG, like I said, he's been out for 4 or 5 games. So this is all factored into all of this Vegas data and stuff that we're discussing. Once you've done it for a long time, people tell you, do you watch the games and all this stuff? It does it for you. That makes a lot of rational sense. Okay, Josh Hart's hurt, OG's coming back, he might be banged up, we don't really know. Josh Hart's not really a knockdown shooter as is. Probably going to need a big scoring game out of Dante DiVincenzo here. He's probably going to have a lot of volume, probably a lot of shot volume. Makes sense, right? And then the market's going to reflect that as well. At 17.5, let's go ahead back on over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer just to give you this is literally just streamlining the process of all the stuff I'm talking about, right? So it looks like the market's a little bit less excited about him than what it was when I was reviewing this prop. But it's still looking good. He was starting to rip up towards 150, 160 on this pinnacle line when I was reviewing this prop. But you can see he's already been moved up to 18.5 actually on Bet Online here, which is a big deal. So we're seeing a trend. He's still favored on the over on every single one of these data points outside of DraftKings, which are giving us even money. So here's an example. If you're someone with a DraftKings Sportsbook app, this would be a fantastic prop that we're discussing on Prizepicks. That if you're a sports bettor, we're getting minus 119 implied odds on Prizepicks. You can get 110 on DraftKings. So if you're someone that's listening and you like this prop, there's some free advice for you. You could head on over to the DraftKings Sportsbook and take the over on there. It would make a ton of sense, right? Because you're actually getting better odds than what we're discussing on Prizepicks right now. But regardless, we're talking Prizepicks picks. So, the entire market's favoring his over here. Minus 136 on the over on FanDuel. So once again, you'd have to risk way more than what we're risking. And then Caesars really likes this prop, minus 145 on the over. Caesars, another large sports book, like they're saying, we're not giving this to you at 115, 119. There's a really good chance Dante DiVincenzo is going to score 18 or more here. We're going to charge you 145 to win 100. So hopefully that makes sense. All of these data points are going to tell us that the play is on the over. And then, like I said, I mean, you can certainly just use your head, I mean, at times, but there's going to be a ton of statistics, a ton of data points that are going to make using your head quicker. But it's like, I mean, Dante's probably going to have to score some buckets, man. Josh Hart's banged up. OG's been out. Josh Hart's not really an elite scorer as is. I mean, the two scorers on this team are Dante and Jalen Brunson, and Jalen Brunson's probably going to garner a lot of defensive attention from the opposing team. So it's like, this makes a lot of sense. Let's rock with some Dante points. And I'd only take the over at 17.5. If it gets moved up to 18.5 or 18.0 even, like, don't take it. So, all right, there's three that haven't been bumped that you could be locking in on Prizepicks. I've got a bunch of Betr Picks tickets as well. Like, please let me know in the chat if you have interest in that. I want to share it with you regardless, honestly, just to try to help you out. Like, some of those lines might be bumped, but I have no issue just pulling them up. And make sure you're taking advantage of the Betr Picks offer as well, because there's a bunch of props that are going to be bumped. Like Rudy Gobert's rebounds is one. If I can find that ticket, I'll pull up my phone on the screen here shortly so you guys can see. Yeah, so like here's a Betr Picks ticket that I locked in, where they're bumped. So we're just gonna do a little bit of a 2-at-1 here. We can go back, and once again, I mean, if you have a lot of interest in a particular app, please let me know, and we can review it. But I want to let you guys know about Betr Picks because it's a really fantastic app, and they're going to match you up to $250. And what makes it so fantastic is there's no pushes. So like Rudy Gobert on Prizepicks is listed at 12.0 even rebounds. And the reason for that is because there's really good value on the over 11.5. So what Prizepicks has done is they've gone ahead and they've said, this is too good of a prop. We're going to bump it up. Like, it's too good of a prop. People are going to beat us too easily here. We need to bump this up so our users don't beat us too badly, right? But you can get this on Betr Picks at 11.5, right? So, like, if you're someone that's listening and you don't have the Betr Picks app, you need to get it immediately. One, because of that deposit match, up to $250. A lot of these apps are only going to give you up to $100. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is there's no pushes. So this is a actual ticket that I locked in earlier. I'll share with you guys right now. I can drop a link in the chat for those of you that don't have the Betr Picks app, just to make it easy on you, because you could just click this link to get my my deposit match as well. So I just dropped that in the chat. But we'll continue along with the Prizepicks as well. It's just so many Prizepicks props have been bumped or removed. Like, I'm sharing with you guys what I can share with you. So there's three right there that I've locked in. We'll resume this shortly on the Prizepicks end. The Cat points and rebounds. The Caldwell Pope 2.5 rebounds, and the Dante DiVincenzo over 17.5 points. But I want to just do a little bit of a side-by-side comparison here of this value I was able to capture on Betr Picks, and just like really make it known that this is a fantastic option for you. One, you can play 6-pick dynamic plays on Betr Picks, which is like the same thing as a 6-pick flex on Prizepicks. And if you only get 4 right, you're still going to profit. So if you use all NBA picks, they're usually going to cap you at like either $50 or $100 on your entries. They've allowed me to put up to $250, but it has to be all NBA picks for the playoffs. So I've been trying to take advantage and boost the bankroll with that offer, and trying to get props that I can't get on Prizepicks on Betr Picks. So we'll do a little side-by-side comparison here. Let me get a little sip of coffee, but I can share with you this entire 6-pick flex here shortly. It's a 6-pick dynamic play is what they call it, but it's the same thing as a 6-pick flex. And Let's do it. Okay, so Halliburton, 26.5 points and assists. If we go ahead and we pull it up on Prizepicks, you can see his points and assist prop actually has been, okay, you could play this on Prizepicks now. That's fantastic. So there's another Prizepicks pick for you. I was not able to get this in earlier. Halliburton was sitting at 27.5 on Prizepicks. There's a value on the over the 26.5, but he was at 27.5. So I locked it in on Betr where I wasn't able to get it on Prizepicks. Miles Turner over rebounds and assists, another prop that's been bumped on Prizepicks unless something's changed. This has changed as well. Okay, that's interesting. And my Betr app wants to log me out, so I gotta log back in here. Stick with me. All right, sorry guys, it's logging me out. This happens on the for like security reasons. They'll log you out sometimes. All right, cool. So let's continue along here. Let's pull this back up. It looks like a couple of the props that were bumped on Prizepicks are no longer bumped. So there's some more picks you can get on Prizepicks, which is actually great. So we're gonna like get two things done at once here. All right, so this is what we were talking about. Halliburton was at 27.5 on Prizepicks earlier. We weren't able to capture that. Turner was at 9.0 even. So that's fantastic there. And then I was going to talk about this Rudy Gobert prop. That's where this all started because Rudy Gobert is bumped to 12 even on Prizepicks. We can't get that on Prizepicks, but we can get it on Betr as far as the 11.5 value. So I'd highly recommend you take advantage over on Betr. For this prop, there's a lot of data indicating Rudy's going to get 12 or more rebounds. So Prizepicks is bumped up to 12 even. Jokic 38.5 points and assists. Once again, a prop that on Prizepicks was at 39.5. Has that changed? It is still at 39. So this is value we can't get on Prizepicks. We can get on Betr. So there's an example, right? Like, why am I going to take the over at 39.5 on Prizepicks when I get 38.5 on Betr? It just makes a lot of sense. Mike Conley, 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists is a phenomenal prop. It's already been bumped on Prizepicks, right? We can't get it on Prizepicks, but we can get it on Betr. A couple of these props changed since I locked them in, which is fantastic because you could actually play these on Prizepicks now. For those of you that have the Prizepicks, and then Michael Porter Jr. under 15.5 points and assists. There's value on the under at the 15.5 line. He's at 14.5 on Prizepicks. I would not play the under at 14.5, right? There's actually some indication that there might be like a little bit of value on the over at that 14.5 line on Prizepicks. I have not played that, but just saying, like, I'd probably take the over at 14.5, the under at 15.5. I haven't actually taken the over at 14.5 though. I'm staying away from that prop for the time being. But just explaining, all right? So, like, see, we're getting Jokic at 38.5 points and assists on Betr. Better value than the 39.5. We're getting Michael Conley at over 19.5 PRA on Betr. That's better than that 20.0 line because it's been bumped. The Rudy Gobert, 11.5 rebounds, right? We can't capture that value on Prizepicks. We can get it on Betr. So, like, there's a bunch of different props for you right there that you shouldn't be playing on Prizepicks. Why are we going to do that when we can use all of our resources and play the discounted lines over on Betr, right? It's just, that's how this all works. So if you're new to this and you didn't know all this stuff, like, I understand, maybe you're still learning, but if you've been doing this for a while and you're just stubborn and you only have the Prizepicks app and you can get the Betr app, like, change that right now. Once again, use that link I sent in the chat, my promo code. They're going to match you up to 250. So, I mean, obviously, like, if you can afford it, I would throw in the full 250 because you're only going to get that deposit match once. But even if you can't, maybe you do a little bit smaller. You can go all the way down to $1 on Betr as well, as the other thing I should mention. For the minimum entry fee, I believe Prizepicks you have to do $5. So it's a fantastic app. You should give out your picks in the beginning so we can get them in before they get bumped, then give your thoughts. Otherwise, it could be complete wasted time. Thank you. Well, unfortunately, man, like, I have so many props that have already been bumped that, like, I'm just hopping on this live for free to try to help you out for free today. Like, the bumps and stuff, like, I'm sorry, but I can't really control it. And I just said I'll hop on and give them as many as I can like I'm already locked in on a lot of these athletes. They're not going to let me put in anymore. So I'm just like trying to teach you guys, trying to share some picks for free today. Doing my best. So I apologize if things get bumped, but I can't control that, man. I do my best to do everything to help everybody. So, anyways, let's continue along with Prizepicks. I know that I know a lot of people probably want some Prizepicks props here. So Prizepicks, they're going to match you up to $100 too. If you're someone that hasn't signed up for Prizepicks, would highly recommend you check them out. It's just another option. If you're tuning in the stream, my guess is like the majority of the people probably already have Prizepicks, but they do match you up to $100 with my promo code if you don't. So you could take advantage of that same deposit match offer to lock in some of these props that we're discussing on Prizepicks. So we actually just found two more that I'm playing on Betr Picks that weren't available on Prizepicks earlier because these were bumped up. So that's pretty cool. Like you could certainly go ahead and play these props now. Like I could do a little bit of a market check here and see if they're still valuable, but I've already locked them in. So, I mean, I'm backing them. Let's see like what the market's telling us about Miles Turner right now. Why it got bumped down. My guess is it's just becoming like a little bit more towards even money. It's still favored on the over. I mean, we're looking at, you know, minus 120 on the over on FanDuel, minus 131 on the over on Caesars, minus 125 on the over on DraftKings. Underdog Sportsbook has them all the way up to 134, 140 on Fanatics, all the way up to 147 on Sleeper. So he's still favored. I think Prizepicks is being a little bit nice today. Like if the prop's somewhat reasonable even, they're actually allowing it to stay on the board a little bit longer. I was able to get a couple of props in earlier that I was surprised lasted as long as they did. So I think for this Game 7 two-game slate, Prizepicks is being a little nice, keeping some props up longer than they may typically do. So, I mean, I like this prop for sure. Like I said, I'm playing that on Betr Picks, but we can get it over here. And then the Tyrese Halliburton points and assists. Let's do a little review of that as far as what the market's telling us. Why not? Just live on stream. Let's see what's going on there for Hallie. Like, why did they bump it down? We can see he's at average odds 27.1 across the entire market still. So it makes sense. We're taking the over at 26.5 and 27.5. We're staying away from it. It's like even money at 27.5 essentially. 115 a little bit on the under. At 27.5 to 121 on the under on Caesars, but the 126 is starting to rip towards the over. Pretty much even money on FanDuel. You can see he's still sitting at 27.5 on Underdog Fantasy. So Underdog Fantasy and Prizepicks are kind of the two big dogs in this props app game. They have really good advanced algorithms. So the fact that we're able to get that discounted line on Prizepicks compared to Underdog, we'll take it. And then the same thing can be said on Betr. So that prop's still available over on Betr. You can lock it in on both platforms. At that 26.5 line, would not take it at 27.5. I'd just stay away from it. The value is really to be had in the 26.5 line. So anyways, we were talking about Karl Anthony Towns, points and rebounds at 26.5. I like that over. We were talking about Caldwell Pope's over 2.5 rebounds. I like that over. We were talking about 1, 2, 3, 4. What else were we talking about before I got sidetracked there? We were talking about Dante DiVincenzo's points at 17.5. I like this over at this line. If you're able to capture that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different picks. And then we liked Halliburton's under fantasy. It's gotten bumped down. He's at 31.5 now. What did I capture that at? 32.5. I mean, it's still like decent. I mean, it's not ideal. But it's the DGF optimizer still has them going under here. I mean, they got them projected for like 29. So being that it was bumped, I'd probably stay away. But like 31.5 isn't too bad of a bump. I'm kind of surprised. I kind of thought they might have just pulled them off the board and not even reposted them. But we'll just avoid that just because it's gotten bumped. Let's see if we can find you another prop that hasn't been bumped. So we'll go with the Halliburton over points and assists, the Turner over rebounds and assists, Karl Anthony Towns over 26.5 points and rebounds, Caldwell Pope over 2.5 rebounds, Dante DiVincenzo over 17.5 rebounds. 17.5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll try to give you a sixth one here. Like, what else have I locked in today? I mean, the rest of that ticket got bumped, so I can't really help you there. Let's see about my first ticket, though. The first ticket there. Oh, Nikola Jokic's assist is a prop that I like quite a bit here, and I think it's still available, so we can discuss him. No, it got bumped. So yeah, I got an 8.5. It got bumped. That sucks, but I got more props for you here, so stay away from him. I liked Anthony Edwards over 2.5 3-pointers a ton this morning. It got taken off the board completely. They only have the Demon available now. I was able to get that at 2.5. I was able to get Brunson's assist at 6.5. Conley points, Gordon. So, like, this is the first VIP ticket I sent in that we locked in. Brunson's been bumped. Edwards got removed. Jokic has been bumped. We got the Gordon. Murray got bumped, I know. Conley, I don't know if he's got bumped. So, like, that's what happens, right? I mean, we were able to capture all those before these bumps. Like, Jokic's assist is no longer available. Brunson's assist is bumped, right? So, Jamal Murray's points has been bumped. So, it's at 20 even. I wouldn't take that. I talked about Aaron Gordon's rebounds and Mike Conley's points. So those are probably the last two I can promote here. The Aaron Gordon rebounds at 6.5 I would take. And then did Mike Conley's points get bumped? No. So those are two more props you could take. So there's, 7 props. I don't think Prizepicks is going to let me place anymore on these because they give me a cap on my winnings. And with the slates being a little bit smaller, I've been hitting those caps. So it just kind of is what it is. 57 people in here, 33 likes, guys. Please hit the like button. It's free. It takes 2 seconds to do. Subscribe to the channel with the notification bell. I went live last time and gave out some WNBA picks. They went pretty well. Like, these are all free picks that I gave out yesterday. So you could go back and review the video. You think I'm lying? The live streams are posted in my YouTube channel after I'm done. So these were all picks that I was going over live on the channel yesterday. That I literally explained exactly why I liked them live, locked them in live, and then this was the result. Kelsey Plum let us down. It sucked, but anytime you can double your money, you can't complain, and then you just got to move on to the next one and try to get the sweeps. So if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. And like I said, man, I'd love to lock in this with you. I don't think I'm going to be able to, though. Like, I'm probably just going to have to get, like, if I try to do this, it's just going to say max per athlete met. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They only put up to $40 per 6 pick. And then they've been capping me at, oh, what just happened to my camera? I don't know how long I disappeared there for you guys. But anyways. They've been capping me at like $5,000 winning per athlete. So I could put like the same athlete in different tickets. I could put up to $40 in a ticket, but the second I reach 5,000 on an athlete, they're like, no, you can't put any more. So like if I try to submit this, that's what's coming up here in the top right. It's not gonna let me. So as far as like the actual tickets I played. I could pull those up real quickly for you guys. This was one of the tickets I played. So, I gave these all out on the stream, as many as I could. The Caldwell Pope rebounds. I gave out the Hartenstein fantasy. I gave out the Karl-Anthony Towns over 26.5 points and rebounds. Josh Hart got bumped down, so like don't play that. Just play the props that haven't bumped. TJ McConnell got taken off the board, so I can't share that with you guys. It just is what it is. When you get good props, they're gonna get changed or taken off the board. That's just kind of how this game works. It's not easy to win. They don't make it easy to win. You have to work hard and beat the bumps and find the best values. So that's how this all works. So like, if you can find these on another fixed payout structure app, like an Underdog Fantasy or A better picks, like I would take any of these at these. It has to be at these lines though. Okay, and it's got to be the same prop. If it's been changed, if it's one off, don't do it. And the fantasy scoring is different on different platforms. So also don't just log into a different app and assume that Hartenstein Fantasy on the under is a good play, because if it's available on another app, there's no guarantee it's the same scoring format. It could be not as good of a play. So like this is the exact ticket that I locked in. I'm just sharing the picks with you. I'm not gonna be able to play anymore myself, but like take all the props that haven't been bumped, right? And then the very first one I locked in, like I said, unfortunately, like these are all bumped or gone. But this was the first one I locked in. And unfortunately, like there's going to be a lot of bumps in removals. So, you know, Jalen Brunson over 6.5 assists, Anthony Edwards over 2.5 three-pointers made, Nikola Jokic over 8.5 assists, Aaron Gordon over 6.5 rebounds, Jamal Murray over 19.5 points, and Mike Conley over 10.5 points. Murray got bumped, Jokic got bumped, Anthony Edwards got removed off the board, and Jalen Brunson got bumped. So this was sent into my VIP as soon as I placed it, guys. If you haven't checked out the VIP, would highly recommend you do so, because it's going to allow you to capture these plays before all these crazy bumps happen, right? On the streams and the free content, I try to share as much value with you guys as I can for free, but I can only do so much in the bumps happen quick. Sometimes my VIP members don't even get it in. I send it in literally as soon as I place it, and they will go to the app and be like, it's gone, or, you know, it's bumped, like literally a second after I place it. So even that sometimes happens. But the best bang for your buck is going to be the VIP as far as like actually being able to get on my tickets. So hopefully that makes sense for those of you that are saying like share the plays quicker on the streams. Like it can only be so quick, man. So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys, you know, I'm actually playing these props. Like I'm not just going to share them with you guys and not play them myself. But yeah, for the sake of the video, let's make some official picks here. Being that I didn't play, for the sake of the stream, being that I didn't play Hallie and Turner on Prizepicks, let's give you my 6 that I played on Prizepicks that are available on Prizepicks, and those would be my official plays for the stream. I think that's more than fair. So the Cat, you got some free bonus picks there, but the Cat points and rebounds I played on Prizepicks. The Caldwell Pope I played on Prizepicks. The Dante I played on Prizepicks. The Gordon I played on Prizepicks. Mike Conley I played on Prizepicks. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And who's the last guy that I played on Prizepicks that's still available? There was one more. Dante Divincenzo. The Hartenstein fantasy score is still available. Who am I forgetting here? Jokic got bumped, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Conley. We could just run a 5 pick if we have to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that might be like, who else am I missing here, man? Hartenstein got bumped, Cat. Yeah, I guess that is the official 5. So I would run this as a 5 pick flex for my official stream picks, just to make it like actual plays that I'm actually playing on Prizepicks. I think that's reasonable. And we could just run the Hartenstein fantasy. Honestly, I don't want to promote playing bumps, but he only got bumped down 1. He's still grading out as a phenomenal play on on Prizepicks. Someone said Rudy. No, Rudy's bumped on Prizepicks, man. I got him at 11.5 rebounds on Betr Picks. He's not available. I took the Turner and the Halliburton props on Betr Picks that we discussed, but you know, like I said, I kind of want to share like actual props I'm playing on Prizepicks. This is really all of them. The only problem is I got Hartenstein fantasy at 32.5, which kind of sucks. But for the sake of the stream, he still grades out as a great play on the Dealer Guide Fantasy Optimizer. I can just pull that up to prove it to you guys here. It's still going to be the best prop on the entire board, according to them, factoring in all of this Vegas data. I do have a bunch of projection models that I use, once again, for fantasy score specifically. You could play the Hartenstein under 11.5 rebounds, too, as well, though. That's grading out as their second favorite prop, and it hasn't been bumped. But they're giving this a 57% chance to hit still with the bump, man. That's really, really good. Oftentimes, they're going to be sitting around more like the 52% chance. on the majority of the props on the Prizepicks board where you're getting any sort of an edge. So being that I locked it in on Prizepicks, being that it hasn't got bumped too badly, and being that it still grades out really well with DGF, I'll go ahead and promote it as the sixth play here. So that'll be our 6 on Prizepicks. If you want to have some better picks, 1, let me know in the chat. 2, get this thing up to like 45 likes. We got over 50 people in here, only 40 likes. Get it up to 45 likes, and I'll share with you every single better picks prop I locked in. Some of them are not going to be available. I mean, a lot of them probably are not going to be available, but you could take every single prop that is still available and lock it in. Maybe some of them are still available on Prizepicks. Like we had that just happen with the Halley and the Turner props. But yeah, this will be our 6. Like Carlton Towns over 26.5 points and rebounds. Caldwell Pope over 2.5 rebounds. Maybe I can drop it in the chat real quick. Like I don't know. I think everyone kind of got it. If you didn't get it, like this is what we got. The Carlton Towns over 26.5 points and rebounds. Caldwell Pope. Let's see if I can do a little zoom action here. There we go. Can everyone see all those? Yep. This will be my official 6. They're all highlighted correctly, right? Yeah. So the Carlton Towns over 26.5 points and rebounds. Caldwell Pope over 2.5 rebounds. Dante DiVincenzo over 17.5 points. Aaron Gordon over 6.5 rebounds. Mike Conley over 10.5 points. And then the under on the Hartenstein, 31.5 fantasy. Got bumped down. Sucks, but being that it still grades out well, we talked about the OG on a newbie returning. Should decrease the usage. Josh Hart's banged up, but there's going to be more bodies in there to take away some rebounds from Hartenstein. All right, so let me know if you got all those picks locked in. Share with me in the chat your favorite pick. Share with me if you locked into a 6-pick flex. Did you just run 5? Did you share it? Did you change it to another one that you like? And then let's do some better picks, and let's just compare them to Prizepicks and then get out of here. Like... It's a bunch of different value I was able to capture on Betr that I wasn't able to capture on Prizepicks. So we can just go through them. Maybe some of them popped up on the Prizepicks board and give you some more free picks here. But main thing I want to tell you about is there's no pushes on Betr. You can get value you can't get on Prizepicks on Betr because of it, and they're gonna match you up to 250 with my promo code. So I've just loved the app. I'm really excited about it. Like, it's good to have another app in the industry here. And I don't think enough people know about it. So just want to share it with you, man. I'm all over it. And then the 4 out of 6 right and the 6-pick dynamic is really awesome as well. So these are all reasons I like Betr. These are all reasons I would use Betr. I'm never going to promote anything that I don't actually use myself on this channel. So, like, if I'm saying I like it, I really like it. So here's another... ticket we can talk about with Ant and the Gobert PRA. You're going to see different numbers on better picks as compared to Prizepicks. And these are more plays that I got. So I shouldn't have done that. I should have left those picks highlighted so we could go over it, but whatever. We'll just compare these lines. So Edwards, can see, is going to be listed at 39.5 on Prizepicks because there's too good a value on, I gotta zoom in back in here before you guys. It's too good a value on the over at 38.5. So we're gonna take that on Better Picks if it's still listed. I don't know if these are still listed at the same lines. You can give me feedback in the chat. I'm just sharing with you what I locked in. So we like that. The Rudy Gobert 23.5. Prizepicks had him listed at 24.5 earlier. So the reason that I'm taking the over is because there's good value on the line. Yep. So he's still at 24.5 here on Prizepicks. You know, why are we going to take it on Prizepicks when we can get on Better Picks at that good value with the discount? Jamal Murray, 19.5 points. We talked about that prop on Prizepicks being bumped because there's too good a value in the over, right? So he's bumped on Prizepicks. We can't get that. We can get it on Better Picks, though. So take advantage of that. The Aaron Gordon 6.5 rebounds, I went ahead and locked in on Better Picks as well because there's some good value on it. And I needed a filler like last prop. This was like one of the last Better tickets we ran. Nikhil Alexander-Walker under 1.5 3-pointers made was an unbelievable prop. Guaranteed, it's not listed on Prizepicks. It's listed on Underdog Fantasy. It was listed on Underdog Fantasy. I guarantee it got removed over there as well. Like, because this is just it was a crazy good value prop with market just ripping towards the under. So that's probably not available. And what else do we got here? Jalen Brunson. This one, the market shifted on. He was all the way down to 45.5. Was listed at 46.5 on Betr. I think the market started to go up towards 47.5, which sucks when that happens. But every once in a while, you're gonna get burnt. He is still available at 46.5 on Prizepicks here. So maybe let's do a little browsing here and see what the latest market trends are telling us, because it was starting to go towards the under. I've already got it locked in, so if you want to ride, because once you lock it in, there's no unlocking it. But I do like to just be transparent as far as like if the market shifted or anything. With OG getting ruled in, it was a little bit ironic that we were starting to see a little bit of some different lines on Brunson, because you would think a lot of times, another guy, the market's going to start ripping downwards. So he's sitting at 46.5, like even pretty much across the market now. I was jumping on that value quickly because he was all the way down to 45.5 in a lot of places. He's now looking to be more 46, 47. So, it's kind of a toss up here. For full transparency, when that happens, every once in a while, it's going to happen. Unfortunately, the market's constantly shifting. And it looks like it shifted back up, which is, it is what it is. The 46.5 line is still going to be a lot better than that 45.5 line that was listed elsewhere. So it's not the end of the world. But I'd be lying to you if I said like it's as good of a prop as it was when I locked it in earlier. So that one's probably like my least favorite of the ones we just reviewed. Long story short, just because of the change there. But if you want to ride, being that I already locked it in, feel free to. Just want to kind of explain the thought process there. So that was one. Which one did I share with you guys earlier? Like, I can go through this one real quick. I don't think any of these are going to be available, but I might as well share with you in case they are, to help you out for free here. Let's pull this thing back up here. This is once again Betr. And the Conley prop was already bumped on Prizepicks. Edwards, I think Edwards got removed everywhere. Unfortunately, that was a phenomenal prop that probably shouldn't have even been on the board. At the 2.5 3-pointers, like Conley's already been bumped up on Prizepicks. So at this, the rebounds and assists, you can see he's at 9.0 even on Prizepicks. So if you're still able to get the over at 8.5 on Betr on that prop, that's a phenomenal prop to be taking for sure. Halliburton over 12.5 rebounds and assists was bumped on Prizepicks earlier. Has that changed? It was at 13 even, so you couldn't get it on Prizepicks. That's been bumped down. The market started to really rip towards his being kind of like more in the middle as well. So there's another prop you could get on Prizepicks if you want to ride that on the over 12.5 rebounds and assists. It was already bumped. It was bumped earlier. So that shouldn't have been up equals trap. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's not really that's not the case. Like, is it guaranteed to hit? Absolutely not. But if you're telling me that I was able to lock in Anthony Edwards over 2.5 3-pointers and then these apps literally took it completely off the board because they're that scared of being beat, like, I'm gonna win in the long term, right? I'm gonna do that every single day and grind out, and I'm gonna do a lot better than the people that just log in and have no idea what they're doing, or they think they can watch basketball and beat the market, because that's not possible. The Hartenstein under 24.5. Once again, like, there's no way you can get this right now, man. He's all the way down to 23.5. So it's like, if you didn't get this in earlier, you're kind of SOL. The market shifted. You're not going to be able to capture that value. I don't think that's going to be listed anymore on Betr, but I'm sharing it with you. McBride under 2.5 3-pointers made with OG, and there's no way that prop's still available. That's going to be a crazy good prop. I mean, but yeah, I don't know. It looks like we got some viewership dropping off here. I'm not really getting much feedback in the comments. The chat. If you really want to see something else, please let me know. But other than that, I wanted to hop on real quick. It's these games are going to kick off here in about 30 minutes. Been with you guys for about an hour. Just to recap here, get the Betr app if you haven't already. Use my promo code. Use the link I dropped in the chat, and take advantage of the deposit offer and this value that we discussed. And then take advantage on Prizepicks of the props that are still available we discussed as well. We reviewed that. I mean, for those of you that are just tuning in, I'll pull these back up real quick so you guys can... I shouldn't have taken them off my entries here, so it would have been easier to just pull up. But we like the over 26.5 points and rebounds on Karl Anthony Towns. We like the over 2.5 rebounds on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. We like the over 10.5 points on Mike Conley. What else did we discuss on the stream today? We like the over on the Dante DiVincenzo points at 17.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we like the under on the Hartenstein fantasy score. And there's one other I'm missing. If anyone's been listening in the chat, I should be able to figure it out fairly quickly here. It's going to come from my first... Oh, yeah, Aaron Gordon's rebounds is the one that we like. Over 6.5 rebounds for Aaron Gordon. So for those of you that just tuned in, those will be my 6 on Prizepicks. I just can't place them together right now because Prizepicks is not allowing me to win any more money on these athletes. Like, I can try, and I'm going to get... in the top right, it says max winnings per athlete, $5,000. So they're not going to let me win any more on these athletes because I've already placed them. But I have these all in my tickets. So these are all official plays, all official picks. The only thing is I did get Hartenstein fantasy at 32.5 on the under for full transparency. But I had pulled up. There's still some good value on the under there. According to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, according to these market datas, and then like I said, like the big thing is obviously like the OG news. If you didn't hear, like OG Anunoby is gonna be expected to be in, which is a really big deal. Obviously, it's gonna affect the rotation. It's gonna affect the upside of a guy like an Isaiah Hartenstein. So. Yeah, man, we went over a bunch of different plays. I locked in a Underdog fantasy ticket as well earlier. That's just like not available. So that just kind of is what it is. But if you have any questions, I'll review the chat real quick before I head out, just so I don't leave anyone hanging. But I mean, bunch of free plays given out on the stream today. These would be my official ones on Prizepicks because these are all plays that I've actually played on Prizepicks myself. So I want to actually promote, the plays that I actually played on the platform. Try to help you guys out. Prizepicks, I'm actually up to $100 with the promo code KJKDFest if you don't have the app already. Same with the Betr app we discussed. Same with the Underdog Fantasy. Same with all of these apps. If you're interested in joining any of them and you use my promo code, they're going to match you. It's $250 on Betr. It's $100 on Prizepicks. $100. I think it might have been bumped up actually to $250 on Underdog Fantasy as well. So you can scan all those apps if you have them, or if you don't have them and you want to get them. And as long as you're using the same players and the same picks at the same exact lines, the fantasy score is the one exception, man, because these apps have different fantasy scoring formats. So just be careful not to get burnt on that. But anyways, I'm gonna head out, man. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button on your way out the door. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. You can leave a comment on the stream after I leave here and give me feedback if you enjoyed it. Just say, if you want to say thank you. If there's something else you want to see from me, some feedback as well. Do you do DraftKings? Shouldn't have been. I'm starting to do sports books picks as well in my VIP. That's the last thing I'll send. Once again, guys, like this was the very first ticket that I locked in this morning that I sent over there. It's just we can't get these plays anymore. We can't get Anthony Edwards over 2.5 3-pointers made. We can't get Jalen Brunson over 6.5 assists. It's been bumped. We can't get Jamal Murray's over 19.5 points. It's been bumped. And that's going to happen every single day when you really learn how to do well on these apps and, you know, lock in these props. With good value, your props are going to get removed or bumped if you're not quick. So you have to be quick. And that is why I do offer the premium. I'm in there 24/7. Always helping people. I provide different resources to help you out with how to succeed on these apps. I talk about my university tab all the time when we're talking about, you know, the optimal subtypes, those 5 and 6 pick flexes on Prizepicks. I'm going to talk about the different optimal subtypes on every single platform. If you're new and you don't really know what the heck is going on, you need some help, there's a ton of different resources. So I do want to make it known that that is another resource. If you really like the content, the free content, hopefully I can just win you a bunch of money with the free picks to pay for it. That's obviously the goal. I'm just trying to help as many ways as I can. So that'll be our 6. That'll be the last thing that I'll mention here before I head out the door. That is an option for those of you that are interested. And hopefully the stream was helpful. Hopefully it kind of helped you to learn all the things that go into all of my picks. And hopefully you enjoyed. I'll drop that in the chat and I'll head out the door. So the KJK VIP package, for those of you that are still listening and interested, is at that link, and that's going to get you access to all my tickets as soon as I place them, so you can beat all those bumps and all the craziness. But these are the final 6. Hopefully you enjoyed, man. I'm going to head out the door. We'll leave this up on the screen to recap so that you can always come back and watch it and lock these 6 in to your entries today. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Good luck on all of your Prizepicks NBA player props, Betr Picks NBA player props. I'll be back with some more streams, back with some more content at a later date.